Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the This is the Music Meets Podcast, an independent podcast show that's dedicated to introducing you to rising indie and alternative artists from across the UK and Ireland. If you are new to the podcast, then please hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on any future episodes, and feel free to leave a comment as it really does help us beat those algorithms. It's now time for episode 122, and I'm delighted to be joined by Roy Fletcher, the former Shed Project frontman and the man behind the exciting solo project Yon Mon. Over the course of today's podcast, we're going to talk about Yon Mon's fantastic debut single Shine On, plans for future releases, reflecting on the Shed Project, and much, much more. So it's a very warm welcome to you, Roy. Welcome back to the podcast. How you doing, mate?
Mark, how you doing, pal? My third time, I think, innit?
Yeah, that's right, mate. Yeah, no, great to have you on, and we
No
chat
problem.
quite a lot, so it's nice to
Yeah,
chat
man.
face to face for a change, right?
Yeah, it's always good to catch up, mate. Score.
Uh,
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, yeah, for those that are listening to this episode up on YouTube, yeah, that we'll put one of the links up there in the screen for you, and the other previous appearances will be in the episode bio if you're obviously again watching on YouTube, or if it's on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, you can find out a little bit more about where. The Shed Project, obviously, that's what you was at the time. But obviously now it's Yon Mon, so I mean it's a pretty exciting time for you, right? What's it like being a solo artist?
It's a bit more quiet, you know what I mean? I miss the guys.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's just keep expressing myself, you know what I mean? I've got a lot to say and I'll just keep doing it, you know what I mean? I've got loads and loads of tunes written and I know how they go in my head and I know exactly how they're gonna go. So it just seemed the most natural thing to do, you know what I mean? To just go on my own and still work with Danny, you know what I mean, Danny Hayes, and
yeah,
because I work with him in the Shed Project. So yeah, nothing's changed there, but yeah, I do miss the lads. I
yeah.
must.
No, yeah, I can understand that because obviously, five piece, and it's obviously quite, almost like a gang sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? When you're in a band, whereas obviously in a solo project, it's obviously you're still bouncing off ideas off of someone, but it's more on more on you, and if you're happy with the direction that it's going in and stuff, right?
Yeah, I've no one telling me what to do basically, which I don't like anyway, you know what I mean? But yeah, a lot of these songs were written for the Shed Project, you know what I mean? What I've got. So obviously you still, but I want to just experiment and I want just try different sounds and different things, you know what I mean, and see where that takes me. So yeah, it's a pretty exciting time and it's good to be just letting what's in my brain free, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah, no.
Because there's a lot of mad stuff in there. Uh, so yeah, it's really exciting because we've got 10 demos. Well, we did 10 demos straight away. Them are the songs I chose, but we're going to be on what's going to be on the album, and we said right, let's work through them all. We already had two what we'd already done. They were like old Shed Project tunes, but I'm gonna get MC tunes on them too.
Yeah,
Uh, yeah, I mean, he's going to do a bit of a rap on them and stuff like that, and we're going to beef them, dance them up, and then yeah, we just started. And Shine On come from when I wrote Sal. Sal was a punk tune originally. Me, Tim, and John had wrote it in John's shed as a punk tune. Sal. And nobody liked it. Nobody liked it. And then Ollie come up with a ballad. He said it needs to be a ballad, and that's where Sal come from. So we still had that music, that tune.
yeah.
So me and Tim was in one day, and I just wrote that off the cuff, "Shine On,"
Wow.
and just been sat there for 2.5 years.
Hmm.
I think I think we rehearsed it twice at the end of the sheds, like you know what I mean. And I just knew it were a banger. I knew it were a banger, and I wrote it, and. Obviously, me and Danny have put our twist on it and that. Added the Sims and stuff
Hmm.
to get cool with the kids, you know what I mean? It's all about Sims these days, isn't it?
Well, you
Um,
definitely have to do that these days. Absolutely, get down with the
yeah,
kids, man.
but yeah, I just knew it was a great song. And so, yeah, we've just got, like I say, most of these now are advanced. There's one, two, three. Well, Picture This is the next single. That's nearly finished.
Yeah.
I'm going to be in this week. I've got a special guest guitar player on that as well, who I can't just say at the moment, but I will reveal it soon. But yeah, it's good getting other people in as well. Working with me. Um, like Tim played bass in the Sheds, and he played the guitar on Shine On,
Yeah.
and Ollie, I sent it off to Ollie, and he did that bit in the bridge as well. So I'll still be working with them guys in bits and bars. I'm going to be working with Tim a lot because Tim's a great guitar player. Um, he did the guitars on A Day in the Dam and stuff like that, and I love his sound, his jangle, and he's all
Yeah.
about that. So me and Tim, me and Tim have got another song called Each Day. He plays bass and guitars on that, and that's a really good tune. So yeah, I'm going to be working with a few different people, and then hopefully assemble a band and get on the road, man.
Yeah,
That's
wow. Well, but really exciting times, and obviously it's great as well that obviously you've still got a couple of the Shed Project boys, sort of still working, quite closely with you. But obviously, as you mentioned, obviously Shine On, obviously come out about 4 weeks ago now.
yeah,
I think roughly, and I think it's fair to say that the reaction to it has obviously been fantastic. It's near enough hit 4,000 streams on
yeah, it's done all
Spotify. So
right. Yeah,
it's doing
surprised at
great, isn't
that.
it? So you've got to be pleased with that, right?
Yeah, of course I am. Didn't it? I'd have been happy with 10 streams, you know what I mean? If 10 people are listening and enjoying it, they're enjoying it, you know what I mean? But yeah, I've got over 1,000 listeners already on Spotify and that. But I'm not about stats and that, but it is a buzz when you see people listening to your
Mm.
tunes in New York and Boston and Japan and stuff like that. I've had a lot of playing in America, which is a bit mad. Um, but yeah, it is. It's always a buzz, to get them people listening all over the world and that. Still getting ignored off certain presenters. But I think that'll be the issue for the rest of my life, Matt. You know what I mean? If I released I Am the Resurrection, they still won't play it because it's me. Because
Yeah,
I've spoke out about these people before, and it's not about the music, mate. You know that. I know that. Bullshit.
yeah. Well, unfortunately, I don't agree with it, but I agree with what you're
I
saying.
must have, I must have sent, mate, right? I must have sent about 200 emails out for Shine On. And I think out of them 200 emails, about 20 people have played it and about five people have replied to me. You know what I mean? It's like, but then you got people, send your music for a blog and stuff like that. And these same people have been sending me music for 4.5 years. And, really, why keep ignoring us? Why keep ignoring me? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's just madness. It's madness. And but like I say, if I let that bother me and bother me, it'll just sting it. But it's their loss, you know what I mean? I'll just keep writing these great tunes and
yeah,
just keep that good little bit of a cult following I've got. You know what the Sheds had as well.
yeah,
So
yeah. No, definitely. I think it's obviously fair to say that um, if anyone was a fan of the Shed Project previously, then they've obviously kept interested in Yon.
yeah, I buzz off that. Yeah, I buzz off that.
Yeah, well, I
Um,
think it's great, man.
Yeah, the next tune, the one after this picture, this is coming on really well. You've heard a demo with it, haven't you?
I have, yeah.
Um, but the next one is massive. It's called Warmongers, and it's Our Fear Is Their Power on steroids. It's unbelievable lyrically. It's the best thing they've ever written, and I just thought, give them Shine On, give them Picture This, and then I'll hit them with a big one.
Yeah,
Uh, I'll probably be March that. I just wanted to build up a little following again, you know what I mean, like I did with the Sheds, and just do it on my own without any help again. And I have done, you know what I mean. And I think the streams and the following has proved that, you know. Um, so yeah, man. But yeah, Warmongers is massive. That's going to be the big one.
yeah,
So that'll be next March. That, but yeah, man, it's exciting. It's really exciting.
yeah, definitely. Well, wicked. I'm, looking forward to hearing that because that sounds really, really exciting.
Yeah, man. It's amazing.
Well, always look forward to all the releases, and as you
Yeah.
say, you very kindly let me hear the demo as well for the next one, which I have to say, yeah, obviously he's only in the demo stage,
It's a
but
bit of a different
you can
sound, isn't
already
it, as
hear, man.
well? I'm
Yeah,
just trying a little different sound, just trying to get away from. that edgy shed sound and just try and polishing things, you know what I mean? And just like Shine On's polished, you know, and just keep progressing if you know, and experimenting,
Yeah,
which you'll
yeah, yeah, sure. So obviously, just on Shine On, obviously you mentioned there a little bit that it was, you know, it was written and sort of recorded a little bit round about the sort of same time as Sal. But kind of like then, what was the inspiration behind Shine On then? What was, you know, just talk us through like the creative process for it.
just come out with it. I wrote it in 5 minutes. I wrote it in 5 minutes. Tim had this. Me and Tim was in the studio at the time, and he still had this music. And I said, just play it. Just play the bass line. And he played the bass line. He had the song in 5 minutes, and that was it. It doesn't. But when I listen to it now, the lyrics mean a lot to me. You know what I mean? And I could, but I could pin them lyrics to a person. I could pin it to a time in my life. You know what I mean? And it was just one of them what I wrote straight away. But now I listen to it now, I could pin it to so many things. You know what I mean? And like I say, every song you can relate to differently, which
Yeah,
you know, with the messages I've had previous with my previous releases with the Shed project and people messaging me, you know what I mean? It's like it's a different meaning for different people, isn't it?
yeah, no,
Yeah,
yeah, absolutely.
that was just a song what was written bang in 5 minutes. Just I'm pretty good at that. The lads used to if they had a riff or something, and a lot of songs got written like that. You know, they'd play a riff, and I'd say right, or they'd play something, and I'll say I've got some lyrics here, and if it matches, it matches, and I can just if somebody plays some music to me, I can write a song to it straight away. It's just a mad thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, sure. And just saying there with Shine, obviously, you know, you can pin it to a certain moment in your life or, you know, a person or something. Do you have you done that with other tracks as well, or was
Yeah, I
Shine On
wrote
just a one-off type thing?
yeah. There's one called Each Day, which is about my wife. Warmonger's obviously about what's going on in the world at the moment, Israel and all that stuff, and Ukraine and stuff. But yeah, there's Selfie Queen, which is about all these social media influencers, which is a bit easy. That's a great tune as well. I give that to the Sheds, and they didn't like it. It's a take on punk. It's a piss take on punk. These middle class people, like bands and that, who are trying to be punk and
Mm.
don't know what punk mean, and these social media influences. So that Selfie Queen, but I'm going to get MC Tunes on that.
Nice.
So that's going to be brilliant. And I've got Better Days, which were released on a compilation album, the Record Citizens,
Mm.
but it was just a version what I did with Danny. And but the new version is going to be more dance orientated, and MC Tunes is going to be on that. So yeah, but yeah, there's just songs written about everything on what's going on the album. You know, different emotions, different people. A lot of it's pretty personal to my wife. I think there's about 4 or 5 songs I brought like about her, if you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think as well that's one of the things you know, for me that people liked about the Shed project as well is that the tracks were relatable.
yeah.
You know, like
Well,
every
I'm all about lyrics. I'm all about lyrics anyway. Ever since I've listened to music, it's all about the lyrics for me first, and before anything else. You know what I mean? They've got to have a meaning, mean something to me because there's bands just singing about the same old shit all the time. You know what I mean? And I'm quite proud of that. That when I wrote "I've Got the Blues," that a couple of people, oh, I've just lost my mum, and it's just helped me and stuff like that. And obviously with bedtime and things like that, that makes it all worthwhile when people are DMing you, telling you how much it means to you. The lyrics resonate so much with them, and they message me and things like that. So I think that's the biggest buzz out of anything. You know what I mean? When a tune resonates so much with somebody that they'll basically send you a letter via a DM thanking you, you know what I mean, and saying it's helped them. So
yeah,
yeah, you'll get a lot more of that because that's my style, you know what I mean. I just write about what I see, what I do. Um, like I say, with my job, with being a painter and the people I meet and the different people I meet. I meet Pakistanis, I meet Indians, I meet Jews. Every other day. So they're my news outlet.
Yeah,
People.
yeah,
So and they're my inspiration people as well to write different things and stuff like that. So yeah, it's I've got loads and loads of things, and I went back to two last week. I had these ideas, and something just clicked, and I went back to two songs and finished them straight away. You know what I mean? And it's mad. It's just mad. But I love that creative process. It's I buzz off it. It's just going in, getting in a quick little beat down, and putting the lyrics down, and then building it. It's like building a cake, isn't it? You know what I mean? And seeing the end results. But it's great to see because Danny's on my wavelength as well.
right.
He knows what's going on in there exactly. I'll do something, and he'll do something, and I'll just say that's it. It's there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or there'll be a riff. I had this riff in my head for the new one. Picture this, and I'm doing it to him like that, and straight away we're like, "You got it." You know what I mean? So yeah, it's
Yeah.
brilliant when that happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, sure. I can imagine if anyone listening back on this, I do apologise. I'm not sure if you heard it there, Roy, but there was a helicopter literally just above the studio here. So
Oh
apologies
right,
if anyone heard any of that and didn't hear anything.
they fly around Bolton every night, man. It's like Barry, man. It's the Bronx. It's the Bronx in Bolton, man. We're used to it.
Yeah, it's becoming a regular thing down here in Southend
Oh,
at the
mad,
minute.
isn't it?
Unfortunately, it's not great. But
Yeah.
just you're just saying there, people DMing you and stuff like that on the social media, sort of stuff. Obviously, it's well known that obviously, both Shed projects and obviously, Yon Mon as well. Obviously, obviously you have to obviously to get your music out there. But obviously you've been teasing your followers a little bit, with details of more music. So yeah, can you just tell us a little bit more about that and what are the future plans for Yon Mon?
Like I say, just to be creative and just express myself the best way I can. Um, like I said, there's going to be a single either November to December. The next single, picture this. Warmongers in March. I'm going to release 4 singles and of the album.
Yeah,
The album's going to be 10 songs. I already know the name of the album, um, and I'm looking at next June, July to
yeah,
release the album. Obviously on vinyl, on CD, and stuff like that. But yeah, I've been very active on the socials, just trying to build my relationship back up with the old Shed people, which I've never lost anyway. You know what I mean? And because I'm always in communicado anyway with them. You know what I mean? I think I think as an artist, you've got to be. You can't forget them people who got you there. You
mm,
know what I mean? There's bands who get a little taste of it. You know what I mean? And they forget the people who put them there, and they suddenly don't start following anyone and don't communicate with anyone. And I'm not about that. You know what I mean? So yeah, um, I'm going to be hooking up with Echo Base Records,
yeah,
Echo Base Music. They've approached me straight away as soon as I said I was doing this thing. It's Ross from Adored
yeah.
and a couple of people who are involved, and I've had a chat to them and stuff like that. I've not signed anything yet, but I probably will have to. Basically, I've just said that it's all on my terms, basically, and Ross knows the score anyway. You know what I mean? I don't think my mum couldn't even tell me what to do. Never mind Ross. But yeah, it's going to be good because they've got some exciting bands who are going to be on the roster and things like that. And Ross is a great guy. He's a good, honest man. You know what I mean? We worked with him at the Water Rats
Yeah,
in the Shed project, and I'm pretty clued up anyway with people. And I just knew straight away I could trust him. And he's just got a passion, and the nights he puts on down London and with Adored and things like that, the bands he's getting involved with.
mm,
I don't want to say too much about the bands because it's not been launched yet. The label, I think, it's going to be launched next month. I think it is, or something like that. The label launch, but yeah, it's really exciting. Speaking to them, and so yeah,
yeah,
I'm working with them, and obviously that'll be on the release front and on a live front as well. I've already spoken to a few people, and it looks like we're going to be in rehearsals in late January.
Oh, brilliant. Well, I agree to echo. Sorry, that was terrible. What you just said there about Ross and the guys there
Yeah, top,
with
top guy.
and yeah, I've been talking to Ross quite a bit recently actually, and I have to agree totally.
Ross is in it for the right reasons.
Yeah,
You know what I
absolute.
mean?
Yeah,
He's
artist
one of the good
development
guys.
and trying to support
He's
absolutely. And
trying to support people, and he's just one of the good guys, man. You know what I mean? And he's straight as a die. And I work with people like I love working with people like that
yeah,
because it's easy. You know what I
yeah,
mean? And but yeah, so that'll be hopefully we'll have a band together in January, and when the album's out next year, I can go out there and play to people. That's because I do miss. I really do miss it. I've
yeah,
missed it since. I miss the lads. You know, I miss going in the studio and you see Shane. You just look at him and he'd do something. And John, because we're all still good mates. We talk regular.
yeah,
We're all still good mates. We were out together a couple of months ago. You know what I mean? And if I said tomorrow, do you want to go in next week? They would. You
yeah,
know, that's always open. The Shed Project's always open for me. I think we've just put it to bed because
yeah.
I know Shane's getting itchy feet because he's told me. Tim Tim's going to be working with me anyway. Tim Bass. He's going
Yeah.
to be in the live setup definitely, either on bass or on guitar.
Mhm.
And Danny as well, my producer. He was the bass player in the Jail Assembly, who were a
Yeah.
massive band from Bolton. They've played Isle of Wight, Kendal. They've played them all, and they've just recently split up. Just before us actually.
Right.
We supported him on the farewell tour last November, and he's a great musician as well, Danny. He can play anything. So yeah, there's two of them, and then there's another two people I'm speaking to as well about getting it live. But yeah, it's I can't wait because it did that buzz that you was at the Water Rats, man, and 3 songs in when they all started singing "My Life" back to me. It's my first ever sober out of body experience. You know what I mean? It was like my body was 6 foot,
But
7 foot high, whatever, and just looking down on myself. And
yeah.
I just cannot explain. I've had every drug in the world, and that buzz is just something else. You know what I mean? When I get off
Yeah.
stage, I don't have a drink when I get on. I'll only have one or two, and
Yeah.
that'll be it. And I just want to go home afterward. When we first played the Phoenix Club, when we did our date, I went home and ate cheese on toast, turned lights off it, because my head was that just battered. You're just like, wow. It takes a good 6-7 hours to come down.
Yeah.
It's madness. So
Yeah.
yeah, I do want to. I miss that buzz. I really do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
I can only imagine. And as you mentioned the water rats there, I mean that was a
yeah,
terrific night. And obviously a lot of the or Twitter, what's it called now, X or whatever, Twitter, I don't know why, whatever it's called
yeah,
now.
community
Obviously
in
a lot
it.
of the crew there, with obviously
Yeah,
AD and Moby and,
yeah,
and, and Colin and all that. And
yeah.
yeah, it was a great night.
Well,
Um
on our farewell gig and stuff, we had a few. We had them down from London. Well, we had them up from London. They come down from Scotland, Leeds. You know, it's all over the country just to come see us. You know what I
yeah.
mean? And what a mad buzz that is. You know what I mean? It's amazing.
Yeah, no, I can imagine. And talking obviously of the Shed project, obviously it sort of, split. I don't know if that's the right word, maybe more of a hiatus, we'll say, is a better way of putting it. But obviously, you've obviously achieved so much
Yeah,
as a band. And you've obviously got some great memories. Obviously, we just touched on one there with the Water Rats, but it's probably difficult to pinpoint just we'll say maybe 3 moments, but have you got 3 like moments that maybe are like really stand out for you that you think, oh wow, like I'm never ever gonna forget those?
mm. The first gig, obviously,
Yeah,
Phoenix Club. The first gig, we played our first gig in front of 400 people. I don't think many bands in the country have played in front of 400 people on the debut gig. You know what I mean? We sold 380 tickets, so it probably more than 400. But
yeah,
yeah, that was because I think a lot of people come to laugh at us and thinking oh, let's go and have a laugh at them, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
thinking we couldn't do it, we couldn't pull it off, and we did. We pulled it off, and so yeah, that's a massive, massive moment, I think. The debut album, it was muddled together, recorded in different places and that, but we could, if it was recorded again, it'd just be outstanding. But we wanted it to sound like that. We wanted it to be DIY, and we wanted to
Yeah.
prove to everybody that if you're a musician or not, you can do it.
Hmm.
I'm not a musician. I've got 2 albums on vinyl. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think getting that vinyl, the first finger, even though bedtime were missing,
Yeah. Yeah.
which was, that could only happen to me. That,
Yeah.
but yeah, just having that vinyl because I'm a collector of vinyl, and just to hold that vinyl in your hand and say that's mine. You know what I mean? We wrote that, and that was a really really proud moment because John was a John's a big vinyl collector. I am. Shane is. Tim loves it. You know, we're all in love with music, and I remember having a picture with our manager Malk at our studio with all of us holding that album, and it was like, you know what? If it ended tomorrow, I'd be happy
Yeah.
because I've got that now for the rest of my life. So yeah, that was good, and I think that Water Rats the
Yeah.
gig, it was just amazing. To go down London for a few lads from Bolton who started out of a shed a few years before it, and then you're playing Water Rats in London, where Oasis did the first gig, and so many great, great bands have played. And like for the sound man to turn around to us and say, you're one of the best bands we've had here, you know, you top lads, you know, you sound checking, you're professional, you're this, you're that. And for a sound guy who's been there 30 years doing all these professional bands and people who've been there, and for him to just compliment us like that, that was a buzz, you know what I mean? Just little things like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think them three are the defining moments at the show. But I can pick so many. I'm so proud of album number 2 and just loads of things. But yeah, we just hit that brick wall. I think I was getting. You could tell when at the end of it, I was getting frustrated, more frustrated, and more frustrated, and just the false promises we got this year,
Mm.
this festival, that festival, and still getting ignored off these people like John Kennedy and what have you. We've never been played on BBC Introducing and stuff like that. And when you see everybody around you being played on these stations and you're not, it makes you question yourself. It really does.
Mm.
But then when the fans are behind you, you think bollocks to them. It's all about the fans, you know. It's about the people in it. At the end of the day, it's not about them.
Yeah.
Uh, because what qualifies them people to be gurus and you know what I mean? Am I qualified because I lived through Manchester, I lived through Oasis, I've lived through this, that. Does that qualify me as a guru? Does it qualify me as a guru because I've got 600 LPs in my thing? You know what I mean? And what qualifies these people to handpick people and to pick out these same bands on the festivals and stuff like that? And it's just that just got me back up, and it just got frustrating for us. It got really, really frustrating for us, and at the end of it, then obviously with the cost of living thing and stuff like that, people ain't buying tickets, and
Mm.
uh, it's like when we did the Newcastle, when we had to cancel the Newcastle, and it's just things like that because obviously you've got, yeah, we're not in it for the money, but you've got to justify doing it. You know what I mean? You can't keep losing money if you know what I mean. But so I've got a lot of personal stuff going on. John has as well, and I just like we had a meeting. I think it was February, and I knew with John anyway because I've known him 30 odd years, and I knew he weren't happy, and we just all sat round, and it was all amicable, and I just said, Luke, if John's leaving, it can't be the Shed Project because I formed the Shed Project with John, and without John, it wouldn't be the Shed Project. You know what I mean? We could have gone on as a 4 piece, which we thought about, and we thought about bringing Ollie back. You know what I mean? But just without John, that founding member, it just wouldn't be right. It'd be the Roses without Ian Brown, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
just
No.
wouldn't be. It just wouldn't be the same. It'd be Oasis without Noel Gallagher.
Mm.
You know, so yeah. But like I say, we're all we did the final gig, and that was really emotional and stuff like that. But we're all still in touch. And 12-month deadline, I'm up for any time with them lads because they're good mates of mine and they're great players, and I've had some amazing times with them. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Uh, so yeah, the door's always open for the Sheds, man.
Yeah, brilliant. Never say never, as
Never
they say, and I have to agree as well. It should always be about the music, really, not who you know. But
would be,
unfortunately,
man. I
that
mean,
seems to be the way it is. But on every This Is the Music Meets podcast, we ask all of our guests a series of questions that are designed to be a little bit more light-hearted and help the listeners find out a little bit more about you, our artists. So the first question is what artists on the sort of underground new music scene have you been checking out over the last, well, probably in 2024, shall we say?
you know me, mate. I'm always sharing and looking and stuff like that. But I say for me, man,
Mm,
I, I absolutely love them. I just think for kids that age to be making music so grown up, if you know what I mean,
yeah, yeah, no, yeah,
it's genius. It's
mm,
genius doing, and they're doing it off their own backs, and you know what I mean. And I love the Heavy North. I'll always love the Heavy North. And I'm going
yeah,
watching
they're good.
Skylights in York next week. So big up the Skylights. It's a shame they're gonna. I hope they don't
Yeah,
quit because of what they've done. You know what I mean? But going back to the Shed thing, like it's like looking at the Heavy North and Skylights not getting on these festivals and that. What hope does it give bands like me? It gives us
I,
no hope whatsoever.
yeah,
Uh, and that's just the industry, you know what I mean? And but yeah, less of my ranting. Uh, but yeah, Skylights, I love to bits. Heavy North. Alex Spencer's smashing it.
yeah, he is,
He's got
man.
on the
He's
FIFA
great.
thing, and for a kid who was busking in Manchester with his kid brother, you know what I mean, to get signed by Modern Sky and doing what he's doing, he's going to be a star, and I hope he is because he's really deserved it, Alex. You
Yeah,
know, um, but yeah, there's loads, man, isn't there? There's Lazy Sundays. I love their new
yeah,
stuff,
good. Yeah, love,
and
hate. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I mean, all. What was that? 4 or 5 artists that you've mentioned there. I mean, again,
I
right
love
up
it,
all of
yeah.
them. Absolutely loving all of them. And
Sylvie blows me
yeah,
away every time. She
yeah,
blows me away, man. And Jen Dixon, I hope she comes back with something soon. And but yeah, Sylvie should be on every festival going. It's
yeah.
madness.
It is a strange one, and you're just saying there about the Heavy North and
Mm,
Skylights,
Skylights.
how they're not on festivals.
Mm.
I struggle to understand.
I love the
But
Ventrils. The Ventrils.
yeah,
I can't.
Ventrils, yeah,
I love
they're
their
they're good.
sound. They've got the old Manchester type
Yeah,
sound, like, and
yeah,
Phil Knox is a good lad, and um, yeah, man, there's just so many in there. And young John Denton, I hope he does really well. You know,
yeah,
the height have just split up.
yeah,
They support us with the Skylights in Manchester, and
yeah.
14, 15-year-old kids, man, you know what I mean? And
Mm.
what I were doing when I was 14, it weren't making music, mate. I was stuck in my bedroom with a copy of Mayfair, I think, you know. Uh, but yeah, man, and to meet his family and little young John and what have you, and with these young kids as well, they've got good people behind them. They've
Yeah,
got real people behind them. Like Alex's dad's always been behind him, and I just hope some of these youngsters really get through. You know what I mean? Because there's not enough bands getting through. You've seen success with the K's, you've seen success
mm,
with the Stots and stuff like that, but there's not many who
yeah,
climb that ladder. You know what I mean? And there should be. Not
yeah,
one or two a year. There should be 10 a year given the opportunity to climb that ladder.
yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, that's what it needs. I think it's great. The K was it number 3? I think they got in the chart in the end, which is
yeah,
fantastic for a debut. But yeah, as you're saying, you want not just one. It needs sort of three or four, almost
Yeah,
within,
definitely,
you know,
man.
like what you know, one say next month or so. Bang, they're all releasing albums, and it all comes out,
Mm.
and it actually, you know, obviously you want them to do well,
I
but it
think
just
with the
it
Oasis thing,
moves.
there'll be a resurgence in guitar music. You
Mm.
know what I mean? You're seeing it. You know, it's always been there, and we've seen it the last 4 years, haven't we? 4.5 years.
Yeah, no,
We
definitely.
know we know about it, so other people should know about it. And I think with the Oasis thing coming up and all that, I think there'll be a lot of new kids picking up guitars, and it's a
Yeah,
generation thing, is it? You know what I mean? It's passed on from dad to son to mates, and but yeah, I suppose, like I say, when the Roses reformed in 2012, it was good to see a lot of young kids there.
yeah,
And
no, definitely.
I hope now at the Oasis ones next year you'll see a lot of youngsters, and I hope them youngsters see that the Oasis and Richard Ashcroft and what have you, and pick and go home and say, right, lads, come on, let's have a go at it. Let's pick up a guitar and start jamming. And I think you'll see a lot more young kids next year. I think something's going to kick off. I think,
Mm,
and I hope it does. I really do. But these kids need more backing. You know, of the industry is it's just there's just nothing, is there? You know, you see these venues struggling now, and there's no money coming from the industry to help them out. You know what I mean? There's plenty of it.
yeah, yeah,
And
it's a strange one.
Salford Lads Club now needing money. Come on, man.
Yeah,
I got to that. I know the council have given 100 grand and what have you, but these shouldn't be happening. These shouldn't
no,
be happening.
no, definitely not. I mean, I do agree. I mean, hopefully there will be a few kids. I sound well old saying that. Hopefully there will be a few kids at the Oasis concert next year. But obviously, as we know, with all that dynamic pricing that was going on, there probably won't be that many there.
I'm
So we'll have
sure,
to wait and
I'm
see
sure,
when
I'm sure. Well,
when the
I haven't bought a
right.
ticket, but I'll get in. You know what I mean? I've done it. I've blagged it all my life, so I'm not buying one now. You know what I mean? So I don't think I've ever paid for a ticket, to be honest, in my life. There's always something, you know what I mean? And
Yeah, yeah.
well, I'm too old for jumping over fences now, but I can use it.
Have to dig underground.
I've done the IVs one a few times. I did that in Kasabian at Manchester Apollo. They had high vis, a piece of piss. So yeah. Um,
Brilliant. Love it. Love it. So, your next question, you're allowed to see one final song from your favorite artist in your favorite venue. Who are you choosing?
one song.
One
One,
final song. So any song from your favorite artist, so solo
ooh.
star, band, whatever, in your favorite venue.
Oh, I think it'd be Theory and Brown, and I think it'd be at
Nice.
the Apollo. The Manchester Apollo is my favourite venue ever. I
Yeah.
think it's just that old school 80s, late 70s, early 80s. It's still the same now, you know what I mean? But it's just a great venue. Yeah, I think that the Manchester Apollo's is my favourite venue. Yeah,
Yeah, what a tune that is as well. Very clever
yeah,
as
man.
well with how he does that with the lyrics. So what are your top three albums of all time?
The Stone Roses debut,
Yeah,
no
brilliant.
doubt, greatest album ever made, in my humble opinion. Um, bloody hell, there's that many. I think the Chronic, Dr. Dre.
Nice. Yeah.
That's one I played nearly every other week. And probably Doggy Style, Snoop. I'm a massive hip hop head. I'm a massive rap fan.
Yeah.
So them three albums are probably my most played ever. You know what I mean? The Roses and the two, the Dre and Snoop. Them are the ones I've constantly listened to for the last 34 years, constantly, weekly, monthly. You know what I mean? But I could pick. There's loads in there. You know what I mean? I'm a big Mondays fan. You know, Bun from the Happy Mondays,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I love Northside. It's that Manchester area. But some of the new albums now, the Moonlight Parade album, it's genius.
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah,
The
really
Shot
like
Window, it's
it.
genius. And it's not getting out there. It's
Yeah.
madness.
I agree.
Oh, man.
I agree totally, mate. I really do.
The Shot Window album and the Moonlight Parade album as wow, man,
Yeah.
it's unbelievable, and it's just not getting heard.
Mm.
It is getting heard by people like us, but when you
Yeah.
compare to
Needs to.
these albums what come out by these so-called established artists, and you think it's fucking shit. You know what I mean? Listen to these.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Or it's just what I've just rehashed a previously released album and chucked an extra
oh man,
at the end of it, eh?
that fixed music, mate. It's fucking wank. My radio's shite, right? It only picks six music up in certain things, and I have to listen to it. I need some music while I'm
Yeah.
working.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man, I just think I have to turn it off at times because it's just shite. And I think, but they're ranting and raving, and so it's the best thing since sliced bread. And I'm thinking, is the wax in your ears? What is up with you? And this is my thing about the industry, and these gatekeepers and that. What qualifies you to be a gatekeeper?
Yeah. No, I get it. It's yeah. I,
It's
I
shame.
I wish I could answer it, but I can't because I don't get it.
Oh,
But
man.
there you go.
It doesn't matter who's done the music. If it's good enough, it should be played.
Yeah,
If
I
you're good
agree.
enough to get on a festival, if you're selling tickets, if you're selling tickets, you've got a presence. Um, you should be good enough to play a festival, not because you're handpicked by certain people. Apply for this, apply for that. It's just a marketing ploy. It's bullshit.
Yeah, yeah, I
Already picked
think
the
it is.
bands.
Yeah,
They've already picked the bands, and then you've got another 2,000 bands go, and then you've got the voting bullshit as well. Fuck off. Just pick them. If they're good enough, they're good enough. It's simple as.
yeah, yeah. No, I wouldn't agree. I wouldn't disagree.
Mm.
Sorry with you on that one. So obviously you've mentioned on your socials that there's a debut album from Yon Mon obviously in the works, and obviously you mentioned on the podcast as well that as well. Obviously you're going to be collaborating with MC Tunes, and obviously he shared the stage with you on a few occasions at a few of the
Yeah.
Shed Project gigs as well. So other than MC Tunes, who would be your dream collaboration, either in the studio or coming out and playing the track with you? Or you could do one of their
Got to
tracks
be the
if.
hero, isn't it? It's Ian Brown, isn't it? I have approached Ian Brown of a few different people. I've sent a few messages because Warmonger's what I've written is ideal for him.
Right.
The lyrical content and the shape of the song would suit his voice. And sometimes I write songs to suit other people's voices. I wrote Friend
Hmm.
to suit Liam Gallagher's voice. And I've wrote other tunes to like Naughty. I've done that in to suit Sean Ryder's voice, and so there is little twists like that. What I do in my songwriting, I'll write them for other people, if you know what I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
to fit their voice. So yeah, I've tried to approach Ian Brown about getting him on Warmongers. If I could pull that off, it'd be amazing. You know what I mean? So, but
it can't
yeah,
can't be ignored then.
yeah, but I'm. My lad's he's a grime DJ.
Yeah, yeah,
He's doing really really well at it, and I've been approached by some of his kids, going in and doing something with them. So that's pretty exciting as well, because I think they could do a Shed Project song, dance it up and then grime it up. So
yeah, yeah,
that's something I'm going to be doing as well. You know what I mean? I think my life would be ideal for it.
yeah, yeah,
So something like that's going to be coming off as well. I'm going to get in with my son and his mate, and do that. So yeah, I'm open to anything. I'm open to any collaboration with anybody.
yeah. Sure. I mean, bloody hell. I mean, if it's to get if it was to come off of Ian Brown, I mean, that'd be bloody. That'd be.
Yeah, like I say, I've put messages out, and that's all you can do, innit? And but yeah, the song would just suit him down to the ground, and yeah, that would be my dream collaboration, basically. Or if Dr. Dre wants to come down and yeah, every studio in Bolton, that'd be a buzz. You know what I mean? Not Puff Daddy though. No Puff Daddy. He needs his undies kicking up his ass, doesn't he? There'll be a lot more coming out. Tell
Yeah.
you that. Oh, dear.
Can't wait to hear the stories when it happens.
Oh, yeah. Oh, dear.
So if you could replace all elevator music with one Shed Project song or Yon Mon single, what would you pick?
Elevator.
Yeah, elevator music. You know, like when it, but people go into the offices sometimes and you get the
Oh,
random track playing. Maybe it's just a southern thing. I don't know, but it definitely happens down here.
mm, I think a day in a dam. Take them on an adventure. You know what I mean? Listen to it, get in the zone, and get in the trip I was in when I wrote it. You know what I mean? Uh, the Day in the Dam's a fucking great tune, man.
Oh, it is, man. It is.
Really proud of that song, and to do it live when we did it live, wow,
Yeah.
it's a great tune, and that come from two songs that what Tim had, and we made
Wow.
it. Yeah, it come from two. He had two separate songs, and obviously we had the first bit, and then where the tram comes in the middle and the beat, that's a totally different song what he had. And I said it'll work this. And we did it. We got that down in about an hour and it was like, wow, this is magical. And it suited the mooching around Amsterdam and then the trip going into it
Yeah.
afterwards. Like, well, yeah, yeah. A day in a down, man.
Wow. Wow. Did not know that.
Yeah,
I love hearing things like that. It really blows my mind. And,
yeah. I
like
love
it.
that song. I really love that song. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Class, man. Class. So what other ambitions and sort of targets then have you got for Yon Mon? You know, you sort of mentioned a little bit about the new music. Is it purely going to be music, or do you think there's going to be live stuff coming up as well?
Yeah, like I say, for now, he's just sitting back and expressing myself and making a bit of a name for myself. Because each tune again, like with the Sheds, he's going to be better and bigger and better each time. And like I say, I'm going to be trying different things. And yeah, the ambition is to break these people down. You know what I mean? Who keep ignoring me. Just to break them down, man, and just say, make them realize and listen how good it is, you know what I mean? Because it's good and it's different. It's not your same old 5,000 other bands, you know what I mean? It's just, I'm determined to break these people down and I will do, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Because the music speaks for itself and the music will speak for itself. So, yeah, that's an ambition, you know, just to keep plugging away at these people because they make me angry. And the best way is to just keep releasing better, bigger, and better music, which I'm going to do. And I'm going to prove these people wrong who ignored the Shed Project and who've ignored my first song, you know what I mean? And it's the same old people. But I've had other people, Vauxhall Conference DJs ignoring me, you know what I mean? It's like, fuck off. Um, but anyway, less of the ranting. Yeah, to get a band together, a band together in January, that's going to be a buzz.
hmm
And with the players who I'm going to be playing with, you know what I mean, it's going to be exciting because that'll be a gang mentality straight away with the people I'm going to get in. You know what I mean? They've got to be the right people as well. Um, you know what I mean? Because it's a personal thing, music, and I think it's personal when you go and play in these venues, and you all have to be in the same headspace. You know what I mean? And I think you all have to get on.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah. So that, and hopefully, like I say, if I do one gig as Yon Mon, it's another achievement, isn't it? And the album, if I just do one solo album, it's an achievement, you know what I mean? So everything's just going to be an achievement in a different way from what I achieved with the Sheds. And I couldn't have dreamed of anything else with the Shed project. I didn't think they'd get out of John's Shed, the songs, you know what I mean? I think a lot of people, like I say, when we first started, a lot of people just thought it was a piss take because it was me and John. But then when obviously they come and see us and things like that, they got a bit of a shock and we just progressed. And yeah, if I can do half of what I did in the Sheds, I'll be buzzing.
Yeah. Well, wicked. Look, man, I can't wait. I'm really excited to see what happens with Yon Mon.
The
Um,
tunes are ace, man. The
yeah,
tunes are ace.
Yeah, I've said before, been very fortunate to have heard a couple of the tracks already
Yeah,
you
man.
know, in the demo stages, and they are absolutely brilliant. And I think when people do hear them, I think it's generally gonna blow people away. But Roy, unfortunately, that is the end of the This Is the Music
Nice one, mate.
podcast. Thank you so much for coming on. As always, it has been an absolute blast, and I've really had a good laugh with you, and
Nice
putting the world to rights and all that.
one.
But before I do let you go, can you just let the This Is the Music listeners know where they can find you on social media?
Facebook, Yon Mon. Instagram, Yon Mon 2024. Twitter, I am Yon Mon 19 something something something. That's the only one they had. And that's it, really. Yeah, and the Shed Project pages are still active. So if you want to check our music out from them days, I mean, the two albums and what have you, and you could check me out on Spotify and all the usuals as well. So yeah, there's got to be lots and lots of new music coming. Exciting new music.
Yeah, brilliant. Can't wait for it. And look, we're going to put all those links, your social media links in the episode bio, as well with the link to the brand new single, Shine On as well. Look, Roy, honestly, thanks so much for coming on and giving up your evening and chatting.
Anytime to you, mate. You know that, Mark. I appreciate it. And
Ah,
you just
pleasure,
keep
man.
you just keep doing what you're doing, mate. Because, like I said, I keep saying it. People, we need people like you. You know what I
Ah,
mean? And I know it doesn't get appreciated by some people, but it does with a lot of people. You know what I mean? And it helps. It really does help. So nice one, mate.
cheers. Thanks very much, Roy. I really appreciate that, mate.
No
And
problem, pal.
yeah, man, go and check out Yon Mon. You're gonna absolutely love it, and can't wait to see what's coming up next. And keep on fighting a good fight, mate.
I'm trying my best, mate. Nice one, mate. Thank you so much, pal. See you later.
And all that leaves me to say is to thank everyone for listening to the latest This Is the Music Meets podcast. Please subscribe so you never miss out on any brand new episodes. And if you're loving the podcast, show us some love by leaving us a rating and written review, as it really does help the artists we interview to be discovered. If you're listening to this episode on Spotify or Apple Podcast, then stay tuned because at the end of this episode, you'll be able to hear Shine On, the stunning debut single from Yon Mon. Remember, the future is bright, the future is indie, and I'll see you very, very soon for another This Is the Music Meets podcast.